Welcome to the U.S. Military Test Prep channel by Study.com. My name is Corey. I'm a CBRN specialist in the U.S. Army Reserve and an ASVAB test prep expert. On this channel, I will walk you through everything you need to know to pursue a career in the military. I am to be your secret weapon, providing you with expert tips, insider advice, and top-notch study materials to boost both your confidence and your results. In today's video, I'm going to cover a key step for anyone looking to enlist and walk you through everything that you need to know about the Armed Services Vocational Aptitude Battery, or ASVAB for short. Today's focus is on the Paragraph Comprehension Subtest. Let's check it out. The ASVAB Paragraph Comprehension Subtest measures one's ability to obtain information from written passages. This fits under the verbal domain of ASVAB. The Paragraph Comprehension Subtest is the fourth test to be taken in the ASVAB overall test. It makes up only about 7% of the overall ASVAB exam. The paragraph comprehension and word knowledge scores are added together to form the verbal expression score. This subtest assesses your analytical and critical thinking skills when presented with a limited amount of information. You will read passages and then choose the best answer choice from the options given. Examples of what this subtest will ask you are to analyze literature and essays, find cause and effect in a passage, and identify problems and solutions inside of texts. When it comes to the subtest format, you can either take the computerized or CAT-ASVAB, or you can take the paper and pencil or P&P ASVAB. If you choose to take the computerized option, you will have 27 minutes to answer 10 questions. This means that you will have 2 minutes and 40 seconds per question. This is an adaptive subtest, however, which means the test adapts to your ability level. You are allowed to complete the CAT-ASVAB at your own pace. That is, when you complete a test in the battery, you can immediately move on to the next section without waiting for everyone else to move on. This can result in your test taking time being shorter compared to other test takers. About 70% of test takers choose the online version, which takes only about half the time to complete, on average. However, you are not able to review or change your answers once you have submitted an answer on the CAT-ASVAB, so make sure that you choose wisely. On the other hand, the paper and pencil option is different as everyone takes the same set of questions at the same pace. This is known as the traditional way of taking the subtest. You'll have 13 minutes to complete 15 questions. This means you'll only have about 51 seconds per question. In this test format, you can check your work for the current section that you are working on. However, you can't go back to previously completed sections, nor can you move forward to a new section unless directed to do so by your instructor. In either case, be sure to manage your time appropriately. Always leave time at the end to check over your work to ensure you're submitting your best work possible. This video specifically focuses on the paragraph comprehension subtest of the ASVAB exam. In this subtest, you are expected to demonstrate your understanding by identifying information from written material. Building off your reading comprehension to examine, analyze, and evaluate can be a challenging set of skills for some test takers. This video offers targeted strategies to help viewers improve in a section that is critical to their overall ASVAB score. First, it is important to familiarize yourself with the types of questions you'll be asked, learn how the test will be administered, and finally, understand how you will be scored. The number of questions on the ASVAB depends on whether you take the paper and pencil version or the computerized version of the test. In either case, if you find yourself stuck on a question, there's no penalty for guessing. If you run out of time, just make an educated guess and fill in all the blank questions. Let's take a look at a practice problem now to give you a preview of what to expect. Here is an example problem. Thanks for sticking with me, recruits. As you get ready to take the ASVAB test, you will need to spend time studying. Find a quiet place to study with no distractions, gather the tools and materials that you need, and set a solid study schedule for yourself. Be sure to utilize study resources from official sources to work with correct, authentic practice material. For additional preparation, create a study group that works together to discuss challenging topics and content, as well as quiz each other on your individual understanding of the content. Remember, the higher your ASVAB score, the more job options you have for your military career, including an array of special pay and bonuses. In addition to how to prepare, the best way to study for the ASVAB is to first assess your strengths and weaknesses. Start by taking a practice test to set a baseline score and understand the portions of the test that might be extra challenging for you. Once you figure this out, you will be able to identify your strengths as well as work with areas where you may need improvement. You might be thinking, where should I go for study material and practice tests? Well, Study.com will create a personalized study plan just for you. Taking a practice test on a site like Study.com can pinpoint what you know and what you don't. If you're using other materials, you may need to put your own study plan together. With Study.com, you have a variety of resources to choose from. Watch lessons to review material you are shaky on. If you feel confident about a topic, do some practice. If you notice you are missing a lot, go back and review a lesson to make sure you know the material. Consider using Study.com's ASVAB Practice and Study Guide to prepare you for your paragraph comprehension subtest. The study guide takes you through 10 main lessons that includes guidance and practice in the following areas: analyzing literary passages, getting the gist of an essay and improving reading comprehension, synthesizing definitions and their meanings, recognizing details that elaborate on a main idea, finding nuances in a literature, identifying the author's purpose, determining the sequence of events, finding the main idea or theme, using context to construct meaning, and making inferences. Take advantage of these abundant resources at your fingertips. Please feel free to customize your own learning style as well. Learning is not a one-size-fits-all, as not all of these tips will work for everyone. Check out what makes sense for you and just ditch the rest. Remember, practice makes progress. That concludes today's episode of U.S. Military Test Prep. Give us a thumbs up if you're feeling more prepared, leave us a comment with any questions or even topics you'd like us to cover, and make sure you're subscribed for more U.S. Military Test Prep content. Stand by, stay frosty. I'll see you in the next video. Remember, you've got this.